Today, I decided to end my game where you help your little old grandma cross the road that she was having a far too easy time staying alive. And that's when I got this incredible idea to add like a hitman that will pull up next to grandma and just completely annihilates her with this huge fucking laser and leaves nothing but like a pile of ash in its wake. Well, actually, that last part's not true. She kind of just like collapses completely intact. And hopefully in the future, this idea expands to other kinds of hitmen, like ones that are in helicopters that'll snipe granny and ones that blend in with crowds of NPCs on the sidewalk and will come up and like stab her or something. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I started off by making the visuals for the car that the hitman's gonna drive, but then it kind of dawned on me, like, what kind of cars do they drive? You know, what do they prefer? Do they not like vans, like minivans, 15-passenger vans? Do they like 4-door sedans or like self-driving Google cars or something? I wasn't sure, okay? So I looked it up, I went to Google to figure it out, and I came across this really cool list. 10 best vehicles for Hitman. All right, let's see what's going on here. Number 10, 2007 to 2014 Cadillac Escalade. Yeah, I could see that. 1999 to 2002 Audi S8. That's pretty good, I guess. Okay, these two are like the prime Hitman cars. When I think of a Hitman, this is what I think they're driving. Just a nice, like, sleek black car with, like, really low profile. In hindsight, maybe that wasn't the best thing to Google, but I promise I'm not a hitman. I'm sure it doesn't look good. I know it doesn't. If the FBI is watching this, I promise it's just for my video game. I at least at this point in time, I'm not planning to kill anybody. After I found the car that I wanted to base the one in the game off of, I started working on the sprite for it, and after a little bit, this is what I came up with. I think it looks pretty good, and I hope it's at least good enough for a hitman who's trying to hunt down a little old lady who's probably on her last leg already, or should I say her last cane. You get it? Because she has a cane and like she needs to help her walk. I really quickly just threw it into the game as a normal car so I could see what it was going to look like just in the game, like on the road. Right now, they don't really do anything. They kind of just act like a normal car. They don't have any ill will against Granny. At least not yet. You just wait. I hear in a little bit. Okay. Jesus, dude. Was that really worth interrupting you over? We could have gotten into that later. I wasn't talking about that part yet. So obviously, that's what it looks like when they their plan goes accordingly. But let me show you some of the other things about them before we get into the nitty gritty, you know, the meat and potatoes. Their design is intentionally easy to spot compared to the other vehicles. So that way when you're out on your walk with Granny, you can tell when she's gonna get pulled up on and when you should probably have your fists up ready to go. But usually they're too far away to, you know, take the shot on her. So they kind of just lurk in the background. It's pretty eerie. It's unintentional, but it's pretty cool. And I did notice that it was kind of hard to tell when they're gonna shoot or like when their laser was done charging up. So their laser grows over time and these two little like particle things grow as well to show you that Granny is in fact in danger. If you couldn't tell from the sleek black vehicle that just pulled up with a big laser on the top of it, literally beaming in on Granny, she's in fact in danger. And the laser also plays a sound while charging up, that way you can kind of gauge when they're gonna fire. It makes it a little easier, but it also adds like some suspense when you're running back over to Grandma to hopefully save her life, but you know, you can't always make it, right? But it adds a cool little like effect of like movie dramaticness, if that makes any sense. But I mean, it does take them almost like 5 seconds to charge their laser up and then shoot Grandma, so they're not the biggest threat. It's kind of just there in the background, that way you're not always away from Grandma. You kind of stick near her so she doesn't get fucking sniped or something. And this little voice that plays when they initially pull up next to Grandma and start charging their laser. Yeah, I made that in this super old program from Microsoft called Talk It. I have no idea where or when I found this program. I think I used it for one of my older games, but you can very clearly tell that it's going on 20 years of age at least by looking at it. This thing, it looks ancient. This thing would belong like in the Egyptian pyramids, bro. It looks old. The last thing the Hitman does is he pulls his imaginary e-brake and then he swerves towards Grandma and like lines up right next to her. It adds a pretty cool effect that is probably my favorite part of them as a whole, because it looks like it almost always lines up and they're almost always right up against Grandma. It's pretty cool. And add all of that together and you get these very deadly, albeit pretty stupid, hitmen. I don't know how much these guys are getting paid to do this, but it's definitely way too much.